Welcome back, Ultra Maga Nation citizens.
Welcome back
to the shittiest podcast on Rumble.
The shittiest.
All right, I know it's been a minute. We haven't been making videos, all that fun shit. A lot going on, holidays. I'm also not going to lie, I got a little salty with Rumble. That's for y'all when you watch it. Because being the fact that y'all wouldn't let me do what I wanted to with transferring over the to the creator side versus just Rumble Premium, even though they're the same price, I got a little salty. So, but I'm over it now.
All right. Moving past it.
Moving past that.
A lot of news. Whole lot of news.
Lots of stuff's going on.
When was the last time we did one? It's probably been
a month, maybe two.
Yeah.
I do want to tell our followers we are going to start releasing videos weekly again. We got a new setup. I know you can't tell because of this beautiful Ultra Maga Nation flag behind us. It says "We the People." You probably can't see it because our fat asses are in the way.
Right. We're not fat anymore, dude.
Oh yeah, that's right. Our buff asses.
It sounded weird, but that's all right. That's all right.
Anyway, all right. Fun shit aside, Joe fucking Biden.
Yeah. How
big of a dumpster fire is he trying to create before he leaves?
Yeah, it's very un-American and unpatriotic.
It's treasonous.
Yeah, I don't get it's. But if it's not him, right? It's obviously all his handlers
or Barack Obama.
Yeah.
You know, we've already spoke about how he said, if only I could get a guy to go in and then I could have a third term and he could be the face, but I could make all the decisions.
Yeah.
You know, the sad part is, I really think that the sad part is all of the people in his cabinet that are letting this go are supposed to be patriots. I mean, if you're not a patriot and you took any of the jobs in the White House,
you take an oath. You literally take an oath.
What's that piece of paper? Oh, God, it probably burns their hand. What's that piece of paper that they're supposed to take an oath to? It's this...
Constitution.
Oh, I think you're right. The Constitution. And they're just really not following any sort of constitutional protocol.
They're acting more like Russia or China.
They are. You know, you got the TikTok ban, which I'm on the fence about.
That's a tough one because national security, but at the same time,
well, like me and you,
how much of a threat is it?
Well, and like what me and you were talking about earlier today, like if having Chinese or CCP controlled bodies involved in ByteDance, then why don't we? The ByteDance, I believe, is the owner of TikTok.
Oh, okay.
It might be BitDance or something like that. I could be getting the name wrong, but I guess my issue is if that's such a big issue, then why do we let them build our chips and have controlling interests in anything else that we're involved? Like, I don't know, buy all the farmland that they purchased around military installations.
Which Trump said he's not going to let that happen any longer. So.
Then you have Joe Biden. This is sweet tea, in case there's any questions. But then you got Joe Biden, making 630 million square acres of ocean water non-drillable,
just right at the last second. What is the point of that?
Or the 42 mass murderers, child killers, and everything else.
And my thing with that, normally politicians will do something like that before an election or something to get better votes for the situation. Because to pander to the liberal side, I'm saving the environment by not letting anybody make any money ever. And, letting all the prisoners, which he did with the prisoners, he released a thing saying he's staying true to his fight against, abuse of power and all that, which is hilarious.
For a man that abused
it's all he did.
Every bit of his power.
Yeah, did nothing good.
Made a tranny the person in charge of health.
Fat dude in a wig.
Fat dude in a wig.
That guy.
It's kind of crazy.
That fella.
Then... the other thing I love watching is listening to the liberals just melt down on the news.
Right.
They're literally, what were we watching today? There were so much. Rachel Moscow Rachel.
Yeah, Moscow Rachel, man.
Dude
haircut.
And then, you've got them sitting here going, well, Donald Trump's going to be an oligarchy. And, the rich, wealthy people, what the fuck is Joe Biden?
Yeah, I don't, that's exactly what's happening now. It's what he tried to do. It's what he did during COVID, with Facebook and all that.
Oh, no. Zuck said they forced him. They forced him.
Yeah, they yelled at him.
It's not like they had they yelled, oh, you got yelled at.
I don't know if you've ever yelled at the owner of a company. That shit don't usually work.
No. What it did was it got him an automatic login where the government could log into Facebook and fact check people. But we're not doing that anymore.
And my thing, I don't, if the FBI, if they're doing their job correctly and all that, have a backdoor to Facebook, I don't care because they're catching bad people. Used to be.
Yeah.
Now they're just
prosecuting Catholics and
like
Republicans and burn books. Books are bad.
Yeah. I heard an interesting thing about that. I was watching this dude talking about all those books they were burning in, I think it was Germany.
Yeah.
And he said it was actually, all the books were about the tranny stuff. It was similar to now. They were all burning it because it was all sexually perverse, transsexual nonsense, gobbledygook.
Not that
that's an official term.
Not that we agree with the Nazis.
No.
Nazis
I don't even know that it was
Nazis.
The Nazis. Was it the Nazis doing that?
Yeah, the Nazis were the ones that were burning books and all that shit.
Well, I haven't confirmed that story really.
Then even when they start not to get biblical because that's.
What did that do?
That fucking dinged on the goddamn video.
Oh.
Well. Almost everything's better.
Yeah, well.
So, the thing, Joe. The thing.
It's not a joke.
It's not a joke.
It's a fact, Jack.
But, not to get biblical with it, but when they start talking about the end times and all that stuff, all they start talking about is the persecution of Catholics and Christians as a faith, in an entire overall picture. And it's what they're doing. They're trying to make a new god is what they're trying to do. They're liberal demigod.
They're already a cult.
That they are. You have things like the Bohemian Grove.
You got Baphomet, who is a demon who has both sex organs.
That's the only thing that worries me about Elon was the fucking Baphomet outfit he wore for Halloween.
Right. I'm hoping he was just trying to be cool because he definitely seems like that guy that's the nerd, always trying to be cool. Even with Trump, it seems like that. Because he is a nerd. I mean, he's an awesome nerd.
He's an awesome nerd.
Badass nerd. If you're a nerd, you need to be like Elon.
Yeah, me.
Do a hot goth wife.
Yeah. No, is that still his wife?
I don't know.
I'm pretty sure they got divorced.
Oh well. Has a hot goth ex-wife.
But. We haven't touched on the drones over the ocean. We haven't touched. There's so much that we missed over the last couple of months.
Trump said he's going to release any information he sees on that.
Which would be spectacular. Because I want to know. Is it the United States? My thing is if it's us, just kind of winky, winky, naughty, naughty.
Yeah, exactly.
We don't know who it is.
Right.
Instead of just leaving all of us wondering. Because right now, I've heard reports that 60-80% of them are Chinese. And they're doing it intentionally to just basically show us that, hey,
force.
We're going to go after Taiwan and you're going to let us. If they can touch us like that, number one. But if they can touch us like that, if they could just fly shit in our airspace, what is our $600 trillion defense budget for?
It's getting the people in charge. Which Lloyd Austin just did his final leaving his post that he's done quite a few times.
I am quoting Joe Biden. You mean the black guy?
Yeah.
He couldn't even remember his name.
His two first names. How hard is it?
Yeah. I didn't even fucking think about that, bro. Knee slapper. By the way, Notre Dame's going to the national title. That's why I'm out of shirt character today. I'm not wearing one of the normal We the Peoples that we tend to wear or one of the Bongino shirts because let's go Irish. And if you like Ohio State, good for you. As long as you're a Republican. If you're a liberal, go fuck yourself. I said what I said. But... what is their fucking job?
It's like they're doing it on purpose.
They are. They have to be. You can't be that fucking incompetent. I mean, you could. But, that many of them that incompetent, that's kind of wild to me.
So what is it? Overall incompetence is indistinguishable from malevolence?
Yeah. Yeah.
I wish I knew who quoted that. But,
that was actually very deep. Every once in a while, Resting Psycho Face has one.
Every now and then.
But the real question is, what's Trump going to do about it? Well, I expect him to overturn anything that he can with an executive order on the first day. Oh, he told me something fucking spectacular today. Sorry, ADD happens. Illegal immigrants are deporting themselves right now.
Yeah, self-deporting. Voluntarily deporting.
Like, how great is that? They know what's fitting to happen, so much so that they're kicking themselves out.
That's probably mostly criminals.
Yeah, well, and realistically, it's like you pointed out earlier today, it's probably part of why Trump said that and did what he did. Because if you already know that we're going to come for you, I'm just going to leave.
Snuff that light at the end of the tunnel.
You know, get rid of the bullshit. And then, did you hear about the wall, the border wall pieces? Oh, Joe Biden's selling them for pennies. Yeah. Okay. Joe Biden's selling them for pennies on the dollar. And then the people buying them are then going to turn around and sell them back to us for a profit. First off, if you are one of the people that are buying the fucking fence and you're turning it around to sell it as a profit, you're a fucking piece of shit.
Yeah, you're a piece of shit.
You, right there. No, not him. You're a piece of shit. So I got a big issue with that because you're obviously either Chinese, communist, Russian, whatever.
Or just a money-grubbing piece of shit.
Money-grubbing piece of shit's probably what it is. The other thing that I'm kind of wondering, because I haven't heard anything since the whole Hamas thing. Donald Trump's been real big on if the terrorists don't, the Nazi, Jew-hating terrorists, don't turn over the hostages, that there will be all hell to pay. What's going to go on with Russia and Ukraine? Because one of the things that he was talking about initially was within 24 hours of him taking office, he was going to end this war. I hope he didn't think we forgot that, because like we've spoke about before, as much as we appreciate everything Donald Trump has done, you got a lot of shit to do because you've made a lot of promises. Now, I don't actually believe he's going to be able to end the Ukraine war within 24 hours.
It's going to take negotiating.
There's going to be some negotiations and all that stuff. I do believe he will fix it. But, like, what's the plan?
Yeah, that one's going to be tough because Zelensky, you know, and I've also heard, too, that he might not cut. He's also said he's not going to cut off the funding immediately, which I get.
Yeah. You know, that bothers me because most of that money is going to the pockets of
black markets and
war mongers, people that live on people's death and destruction.
Yep.
And that's something I'd like to see Washington, D.C. get away from, because if you profit on the murder of people without a need, like there's a difference, you know. If, like, for instance, Israel and Hamas. Israel, I have no issue giving them shit because Hamas killed babies and women.
Yeah, they walked up in there and parachuted in. That's an invasion.
Yeah, that's an invasion. I have no issue.
Hamas, it was a very small invasion on invasion terms, like 1,400, I think.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah, but on the flip side, if you're just like, hey, let's give Zelensky some more stuff and tell him he can attack Russia and promote World War III, you're a fucking asshole.
Yeah. You're an asshole. If you think you're defending Ukraine or something, that's, you know, you need to kind of brush up on how shit works a little bit.
You're just fucking stupid.
Yeah.
Like, if you're profiting off murder...
Now, if you signed up to potentially go fight in that war, I guess...
I
can't talk shit.
Yeah, no, I agree with that 100%. If you're like, I'm profiting off war and I'm going to go over there and help Ukraine and physically put your boots on the ground, you get a gold star.
Yeah.
But most of you don't do that.
No, you're sitting in a couch.
I can't see the couch. By the way, we're recording in a new place. There won't be any interruptions. There won't be any breaks, any of that stuff. Yep. So no more of the digital glitch. Well, that was my favorite. Because we're moving up.
Moving up.
Also, we want y'all to follow us. Follow us on X. Follow us here. I'm not ending the show yet.
Gotcha. That is normally the...
That is, but that's what I was like, I'm not ending it. But, you know, why, number one, have we not followed the drones? Like, number one.
Yeah. I've seen videos like helicopters potentially following them. I don't know how real those are. It's kind of hard to tell.
And then the question is, like, I get there's not a whole lot of difference between water and air as far as aerodynamics or water dynamics go.
Right.
They both would provide similar lift. Actually, water would create better lift because it's a denser material. But the fact that these drones are potentially going underwater or surfacing from the water, like, that's wild.
Yeah, that's a crazy weapon right there. The potential on that is...
You know, it go from land to sea to air to...
Like more than amphibious. I don't even know what you call that.
Yeah, and then the DARPA dog with wheels that you keep talking about, like...
Those are crazy looking.
That's nuts.
Yeah, they put wheels on these dogs now, and they're way better than the ones that are just walking around.
It's...
Like, if you release, like, 1,000 of those and with 1,000 drones in the sky, like a fighting force, that would be a real problem.
Oh, yeah. I'm gonna not have nightmares about that.
Yeah.
Also, like, my big thing, like, the issue I have is, what are they gonna do to protect Donald Trump's ass during the inauguration?
Well, they brought him inside.
Oh, did they finally go inside?
Yeah, it's because it's cold. Now all the libs are like, it's because it's gonna have a small crowd.
They're so dumb.
They cling on to whatever they have.
Stupid.
And they're like, Reagan was inaugurated. And
do you think they're gonna... First off, libs, do you think that the United States government is gonna openly go, hey, we can't protect him, so we're gonna move him inside?
Exactly.
No, that's like a big L for the Secret Service.
It's the same reason people want Trump to go to L.A. He will. When he's president and has all that security.
Yeah.
Right now, he has a little fucking, as you know, bullshit security force.
Oh, kind of like the chicks that were trying to cover his face when he got shot in the head?
Yeah.
Okay. I just want to make sure I understood.
Who he's so congratulated.
Oh, he did.
We can talk shit over here because, like...
Well, this is what I'll say. Good for them, except for the one bitch fumbling with her gun and the one that was hiding behind the stands.
Yeah, they were out of shape, too. It was, like, obviously lack of training there.
But, like, the rest of them... Even those chicks that were in the front, like, trying to protect him, good for you.
Right.
Bad for you, Secret Service top agent people that put them there. When you're dealing with a 6 foot plus 250 pound man, like, you're dumb. And that's going to prelude into the next...
Obvious mistake.
Obvious. That's going to prelude into the next part of the conversation where there should only be one standard in any sort of fighting force. It shouldn't be a man's standard and a woman's standard because in the end, the job needs to be done. Mm-hmm. And if you can't do the job, that's fine. I'm not saying anything bad about you, but you don't get it.
Yeah, you just don't get the job.
You just don't get it.
The job's not about your feelings, how you feel offended. It's not about filling out some status quo, having a certain amount of people work there.
Or a certain color, or a certain race, or religion.
Who they fuck.
Yeah, or whether they want to cut their wiener off.
Wow.
Like, all of that's fucking stupid. Like the LA firefighter that was like, if I have to carry your husband out of a burning building, he made some bad decisions. No, oh, really? What if he was a fucking sleep when the house caught on fire?
Well, I'm looking at that chick, dude, thing, and like, they skipped whatever physical test they had, or they made it because, like, that person isn't.
No.
Like, they were easily.
Well, I don't know. They had pretty big shoulders.
Yeah, you do got to lift.
They did. They had some pretty big shoulders.
I guess they're for show because they can't even lift another human.
But, like, number one, if your job is to save people, it's not your job to fucking judge them.
True.
It's not. Like, you can have those thoughts internally, but to, like, vocalize them on an ad, that was stupid.
That was like the chief.
Yeah. Dude, chick thing.
Yeah, whatever the hell was going on there.
And then the mayor of LA going to Ghana.
Yeah. Come on.
And then not answering questions. Like, for you liberals out there that might be watching our show, let's flip this around a little bit. So some guy goes around and lights a whole bunch of trannies' houses on fire, and Donald Trump goes to Midland, Tennessee.
Right.
And doesn't care. Is that going to make you feel warm and fuzzy on the inside? Or is that going to make you feel like the guy or person that was in charge didn't give a fuck about you?
Yeah.
Like, I don't understand where the argument is that, like, should have been okay.
And there was the amount of firefighters that were like, this is a problem. We need to do something. This is a problem. They had one at city council. They had one go on Joe Rogan. Donald Trump said something about it on Joe Rogan about a month or two before any of this happened. So people knew. One of the city people, I forget who it was, he was a high up guy. There was a special mall that he moved his own private water trucks and private fire things to before all this happened.
I probably shouldn't say this because I've done no verification, but I was reading something that there's like a billionaire that owns 60% of the water in California, and they made sure to cover their own shit.
It's probably the guy I'm talking about. Yeah.
I
believe it.
First off, you're a dick.
Yeah, fuck you.
And I don't give a shit that it is the city of the damned burning down. You should still help them.
Right.
Although I do wonder if this is almost like a Sodom and Gomorrah kind of episode. Because the Lord...
A lot of people think that.
The Lord did say he would never flood the earth again, but he damn sure told you he'd light it on fire. And I just think that's kind of a coincidence. But even beyond that, like, we live in this great state of Florida, a wonderful state of Florida. And we have this fucking terrible issue with underbrush. So we do this crazy thing called controlled burns.
Yeah, all the time.
All the time.
A lot.
And like most days during the summer in any direction where we live, you can look up and you can see smoke.
Mm-hmm.
Because controlling the fire, controlling the underbrush, controlling the stuff that can actually light stuff on fire, like the trees, and create the issues that they have, is the smartest way to prevent it from happening.
Yep.
And I'm just some dipshit that
does an ancient technique.
That's a retail store manager. Like I'm not smart. Okay, well, I'm smarter than apparently the people in LA that run it.
Yeah, well, that, you know,
yeah,
like I said earlier, indistinguishable.
You know, and realistically, if you have an issue with the fact that, scratch that thought. Did you know that the reason the reservoir that they weren't allowing water to go in was being fixed? What was being fixed was the cover for the reservoir had a tear in it.
Really? See,
there was a tear in the cover, and
it's not even like,
it's not like the reservoir wouldn't hold water.
Well, also, like it can be contaminated. It's gonna get cleaned, right?
But yeah, that's the kind of what I was thinking.
So it's
like
just like raw water.
Yeah, like it's almost like they don't have water filtration.
Yeah.
So it's just stupid. It's
I'll just say the schmelt.
Donald Trump hates fish. Some little tiny ass fucking fish. That's what that was.
Interesting name on that fish too. Schmelt. Isn't smelting where you like burn stuff?
I think that's kind of it. Yeah, it's like metal working.
Yeah.
When you're smelting metal. We might be stupid on some things.
Yeah.
Don't fact check us. Oh, wait, you can't. Facebook doesn't do that anymore.
Well, he said he likes the community notes thing that Elon does. So.
Yeah, that's crazy how he's a flip-flopper like the fucking Democrats.
Yeah, I do not trust that guy, dude. Joe Rogan talking to him about bow hunting. You can just see he's lying through his teeth. And Joe Rogan knows it.
Oh, it's kind of like watching, what was his name? Because we're never going to remember it after this, but Kamala Harris's running mate. Oh, Tampon Tim.
Tampon Tim.
When he was trying to load his old trusty shotgun.
Oh, my God.
I might insert that video here.
Right.
But the fact that they really just think you all are stupid. And right now I'm not talking to you dumbass liberals because we do think you're stupid.
Yeah, you are stupid.
I'm talking about more like-minded individuals. They think you're dumb. They do. That's why they refer to Trump supporters as trailer livers and all this other stuff. And if you live in a trailer, good for you. Shit happens. Like, it might not be your first choice, but you're doing the best to provide for your family. Like,
some nice trailers out there.
There's a roof over your head. Good job. But they portray us as dumb, unintelligent, hicks, racist hillbillies. But the funny part to me is all the black Trump supporters. Are they racist too?
Right.
That was a question proposed to you liberals, because if they're racist, what are they racist against?
Yeah, that's the...
Are you going to call him an Uncle Tom?
They probably do a lot. Imagine that happens a lot.
I can't wait. I know I told you. I really hope Kash Patel gets in as...
Yeah. When does that happen? How does that work? Are they going to like...
I think they got to vote or something. Like, I'm not... We're going to...
Pete Hegseth got it. So.
I think Hegseth got the votes. I'm not sure about the chick that's replacing what was supposed to be Matt Gaetz. I know you don't...
Pam Bondi. Well, she just had that little red flag conversation with Trump.
I don't like red flag laws. there's this crazy part on the Second Amendment that says shall not be infringed. And I know that lots of people are going to have issues with that, but driving's a privilege.
Right.
Okay? Freedom of speech is not. It's a God-given right. Big G, God-given right. Freedom of religion, big G, God-given right. And right to bear arms is a big G, God-given right. Mm-hmm. Government's not allowed to take that from you. And I haven't heard anything about it in a while, but I know Brandon Herrera was working really hard to try to become the director of the ATF.
I don't know if that's going to happen.
I doubt that's going to happen, but that's the type of individual we need to have as the director of the ATF.
How all this works.
Yeah, understands that their 30-round mag clip with 100-round bullets that are
as heavy as 50 boxes.
Yeah, like 9mm blow your lung right out your back.
Oh my God.
Like, you need to have people that actually understand that stuff, not somebody that just does your talking points and it's like, hey, guns are bad.
Yeah.
No, people are bad. That's why in England they have a stabbing epidemic. And look it up. You can buy an assault knife.
Mm-hmm. Zombie knife.
That's what it was. Zombie knife. Like,
apparently it's just a big knife.
Who the fuck called it that?
I think what it is like a knife that's big and scary that looks like you'd have it in a zombie apocalypse. So they call it. That's what I've got. Because I was like, are they putting acid on it? Which they do.
They do.
To make the womb stay open.
Doo-doo.
They love acid over there in doo-doo.
Doo-doo.
Probably throw a little doo-doo on it.
Doo-doo acid. But, I guess, guys, the real question is, are we going to continue to fix it? Because that's what we did. You, us, we all did it. We voted in the people that should give us the Barack Obama change that we need. Because let's face it, when you start talking about transsexuals and homosexuals and all that stuff and the woke and all that, you're talking about less than 20% of America. Right. And then the rest of the people are white women liberals and some nutless dudes that still have a sack. They just don't have nuts in them.
Right.
They don't,
dormant,
like no testosterone having. We know a guy like that. Just don't have the wherewithal to understand that if you let them slowly erode your rights, one day you're going to wake up with none.
Yeah.
And that's what their goal is. That's why they stopped teaching cursive, I personally believe. Because if you can't read the Constitution, then you don't know what you're losing. I'm sorry, Bill of Rights. I understand that. Don't correct me. But like if you don't understand it, then you don't know what you're losing.
Right.
And it's kind of like, I think it was a farmer in France. He ended up moving the French border by like 60 feet. Okay. I don't remember exactly what it was, but he moved it just a little bit every day, just an inch. The problem with it is if you give up an inch today and you give up an inch tomorrow and you give up an inch and every day for 12 days you give up an inch, you've lost a foot.
Yep.
And if we give that to them, you're never going to get it back. That's
they don't take stuff and give it back.
That's the big thing. That's like
how that works.
It's like the cost of eggs. Once they find out that you'll pay $20 for what you used to pay $10 for, why would I ever sell it for $10 again?
Why would I go back down?
And that's a whole nother fucking conversation. What about the price of eggs? It sounds stupid, but have you seen all the bird farms catching on fire?
It's been happening for a while now too.
And they're attacking individuals. They're attacking your pocket because they can.
Mm-hmm.
And we've
let them. That's what hurts.
And it is what hurts. They want to, you look at the LA fires and there's a couple things that are kind of interesting. The fire pattern follows the same pattern as this monorail that they want to build. And LA, we've seen Gavin Newsom holding a piece of paper talking about smart LA. Well, what's the best way to do it if you don't have to tear the shit down?
He was talking about some land use, having lawyers come in and figure it out. Like he's dancing and smiling in front of a burnt down building.
You know what that reminded me of? The guy eating the burger going, "You mean I could get this delicious burger and fries? And all I gotta do is take a vaccine that Pfizer has come out and said it does cause myocarditis. One more for the tinfoil wearing hats." Like,
straight called it.
We all did. Hell, most
the doctors that was bringing it up.
It was.
Like,
you know, military doctors are talking about the 800% increase in heart issues. 800% increase since the vaccine came in.
That's a lot.
That's not fuck, I can't think of the word, but it's not a
small number.
It's not a small number. Coincidence.
Okay, there you go.
That's where I was headed.
It's a winky dink.
Yeah, it wasn't by accident, guys. Now, that doesn't mean that I think the people creating the vaccine were trying to do this. It just wasn't tested.
They were just trying to push it out for money.
Yeah. And they got it. Lots of it. Boatloads of it. And it was signed into bills that you can't fucking sue them.
Yeah, they did a lot. Well, they tried to put it where they couldn't release the results for like 70 years or something.
I remember that. And I guess that fucking changed.
Yeah, that's not the shadiest fucking thing anybody's ever done.
But Monday. Wait for Monday. Couple more days. I'm going to try to have this up in the next day or two.
Gotcha.
But on Monday, just remember, guys, it's not going to be a light switch.
Nah, it's going to take time.
Donald Trump's not going to walk in and all of a sudden gas is back down to $1.90. Our food's down. Like the amount of money produced by the Federal Reserve has created the inflationary issue that we're having.
And don't be like the libtards who like see all this shit now and they're like blaming Trump already when he literally has done nothing.
He's not. He has no control.
Not even in the office. Like, price of eggs aren't still down or still aren't down.
I don't even know who that is.
Yeah,
that's a reference to the Green Jean John Pierre dude chick talking about she didn't know the guy that said Donald Trump actually had something to do with the fact on why Hamas is going to release the terrorists. And speaking of that, like, did you hear the phases? Have you heard about that yet, Greg? Okay, so phase 1, they're going to release women and children.
Okay.
But it's not a permanent ceasefire till then, and they're keeping men and remains. So they're going to keep they're going to keep some hostages. They're just going to release the women and children. And don't get me wrong, I believe women and children should be released, but like there should only be one phase. Release fucking everybody. You don't get shit, and we won't kill you. And if you can't do that, then we're going to kill you. That should be the negotiation. And it's almost like Joe Biden was there negotiating for Hamas.
Right.
Like against Netanyahu. They're talking about giving up land and all this other stuff. But yet when it comes to the Ukraine war, everybody's like, Ukraine can't give up a single inch.
Yeah, I know.
Like, I hate to say it, but Russia's bigger than Ukraine.
Yeah.
And there's arguments to be had that there are people in Ukraine that want to be Russian citizens.
Yeah. Well, it's like you're just going to kill off all your citizens, not wanting to give off a small part of land. That doesn't make any fucking sense.
It doesn't. Like, okay, like, I don't want any more death and destruction. That's nobody wants death and destruction except for the people in charge, apparently. Puff Daddy's still in jail.
Still.
I don't think anything's going to come of that, though.
No.
If he's smart. If he's not smart, see, I personally think Jeffrey Epstein told him he wasn't going to shut the fuck up. If Puff Daddy's smart, he'll shut the fuck up.
Right, and they just offed him.
Yeah. I mean, it makes... he didn't hang himself.
Epstein didn't hang himself.
That was kind of fucked up.
Well, yeah, fuck that, dude.
Yeah, seriously. All right, guys. Well, it was good talking with y'all. Don't forget to follow us.
Follow Twitter or X.
Rumble. Truth, although we'll see where that goes.
We'll probably keep it up.
Yeah, we will keep it up. I'm
saying I don't imagine Trump would can Truth Social yet.
Well, no, he's got his whole fucking DJT stock based on it.
Oh, okay. There you go.
And YouTube, Facebook,
the book. Now that it's not going to be shadow banning us anymore. It's been doing that up until like the election.
It has. As a matter of fact, there's been like 18 guideline standards I've already broke.
Yeah. Not doing anything, just sharing
sharing memes and videos. So, anyway, Ultra Maga Nation, citizens, we're out.
Peace.
Peace.